Hey, I'm John from 40s Vintage. Well, the tractor has compression, it has spark, now it needs some fuel. And of course, the thing that makes that happen is the carburetor. This one is in bad need of a rebuild. Let's do that today.
So the process of rebuilding the carburetor is long and may not be of interest to everybody, so I'm speeding through it here. But if you check the description, I'm going to have a link down there to the full-length video where you can hear me talking about the carburetor, taking it apart, rebuilding it. You can even hear me singing a little bit. So go ahead and check that out down below, and let's get back to this video.
So before we can put the manifolds back on, I got to put the valve covers back on the side of the engine. Unfortunately, to the surprise of nobody, I broke one of the studs that goes on there, but not to worry. I got some new ones at the local hardware store. Unfortunately, they're a little too long, so I'm going to have to cut them down a bit. So those go right into here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the valve covers on and see how much I got to cut off for these bolts, cut them off, get these mounted back up, and then we'll be ready to move forward. Alright, so here's my current problem. So this here, which goes to the throttle control and then down to the governor here, has to go underneath these head bolts here, which is no problem. I was just going to pull the head bolts off, slide them under, tighten them down, and that's okay for the rear one. But as you can see, this one here, there is not enough of that stud poking out for that to fit underneath. The top couple of threads on here are stripped out, so when I try and put that down and put the nut on top, it doesn't have enough to grab onto. So I have a couple of options. I can pull the head again and see about replacing that head stud with a longer one. I could shave this down so that it doesn't have so much meat to go through, so it can hold it down. Or I can ignore it for now and come back to it later. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here. We'll see.
Well, I decided the correct course of action was to pull the head and do something about those head studs. I found that the one I needed to be a little bit longer was actually slightly shorter than some of the others. So I had the brilliant idea to pull that one out, pull out one of the ones that was a little bit longer, and just swap them. What could possibly go wrong?
You had one job. Don't shear the head bolt.
Oh my. Well, that's not good. Okay, well, that was a bit of an ordeal. So let me tell you what we got going on here. I had to put a bracket on that was going to go on these two studs right here. And unfortunately, the top couple of threads on this stud were just totally stripped out. So it didn't have enough, the bolt didn't have enough to purchase on once the bracket was in there pushing it up. So I had this brilliant idea. I'll just swap this stud, this head stud, with one of the others, like this one, for instance. And this one came out no problem. This one broke, as you probably saw, and then I had to drill it out, then I had to retap it, and then I had to get a couple of new studs. But I was smart, and I got a couple, or I got one at least that was taller, since this needs to have some extra threads. So that's that. While I was doing that, I discovered down in here, I'm not sure if you can see down in there still, just these are the water pathways, and there are just a ton of flakes of rust down there. It looks actually infinitely better than it did. I pulled out with a little magnet just probably 50 times, just an inch, almost an inch worth of stuff each time. So still gonna flush that out after I put the head back on. I'll probably hook a hose up to it. It's not gonna keep our engine from running, at least for a little bit here. It's gonna keep it from cooling very well, but it's not gonna keep it from running. So that's good. It's not in the oil passageways. That would be really bad, because then we'd have metal on metal and destruction. We don't want that. So I'm going to put everything back together on the head here and tighten things down, put that bracket on where it needs to go, hook up our governor. Maybe we'll try and get this thing to start. Trials and tribulations with 80-plus-year-old stuff. So at least these two head studs look nice and pretty. Okay, turn that key on. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and hit that starter. Hold on. Okay, now hit it again. Try again. Okay, go again. Keep going. It'll run.
Go, Josie, go!
It's loud because we have no exhaust. Okay. Here we go, folks.
Go, Josie, go.
Run a tractor.
Yay.
Well, I'm going to call that a success. Obviously, it's really loud because I didn't have the exhaust on there. But otherwise, that worked out pretty well, I think. All right. Well, we've got a few more things to do, obviously, but progress. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe down below there. Have a great day. Oh yeah, one other thing before I sign off here. Comment down below what you think these are. I got a whole bunch of these wires out of the water passages on this when I was emptying things out. Along with all the rust and everything, just little pieces of wire. Were they trying to clean things out? Did they think they had some other interesting usage? I really have no idea. Let me know what you think.